Hello, everyone. I am Tawana Blessing. I am the executive producer of the Full Figure Industry Awards. You guys can see my shirt. I'm in uniform today. I am also the CEO and editor in chief of Queen Size Magazine. So, this is part of our fireside chat series that we have going on. We are talking to some of our nominees and our honorees, and later on, some of our sponsors as well. So, tonight, I have the absolute honor of talking to someone who I call my friend, Mickey. I'm going to let him introduce himself real fast, and then we are going to have a quick chat on his nomination. Mickey, tell everybody who you are, where you from.
All right, what's going on, Tawana? As she said, my name is Mickey Leon. I am a photographer, plus model photography, M Armstrong photography, and I'm also the executive producer, creator of District of Curves, the DC Full Figure Fashion Showcase. But I am not from DC. I'm from the 757 area of Virginia, so Chesapeake, Virginia, to be exact.
So interesting. I had a whole lesson on this whole DMV area thing the last time we had dinner. So thank you for the lesson.
No doubt.
Um, so let me just do this real fast. If you guys are not saving the date for the Full Figure Industry Awards, it is November 4th. It's going to take place in Jamaica, Queens. Make sure you get your tickets and you are not left outside. We do not sell tickets at the door, so get your tickets in advance. You can head over to our website if they are still available because I don't know what day you're watching this on. Our website is www.thefias.com. Again, the show is on November 4th. So, Mickey, my friend, thank you so much for taking the time out to chat with me today. Congratulations. If you guys don't know, Mickey is a three-time nominee for Outstanding Photographer. Crossing my fingers that third time is going to be the charm for you this year. But the nomination itself, I know, I have not been nominated for anything, and that's fine. You guys don't go nominate me for nothing now. But I said that to say, it's easy for me to say, "Oh, it's a pleasure being nominated," but tell everybody how you feel about your nominations. Year one, was you even surprised? Or you surprised for the second and the third? Like, how are
So
you feeling?
you know what? I was surprised each year, to be honest, right? So, as somebody who does what I do, I don't do what I do for any recognition, so I just kind of put my head down and I'm working, you know what I mean? But to be
Yes,
nominated shows that other people notice that I'm working because I didn't nominate myself.
right.
I didn't nominate myself. I nominated other people. Um, you know what I mean? So I was actually genuinely surprised each year. Um, and just to see the support from people, like I'm scrolling and I see my picture with people talking about vote, you know what I mean? And so, I was just really honored for that because I mean, you love to be recognized or whatever, but at the same time, like when you do what you do because you love it, it's not so much a thing where you need the recognition. You
Right,
know what I
right,
mean? So genuinely surprised every year, and I appreciate everybody and the kind words and everything that people, have said. So it's truly an honor. Like you said, hope the third time is a charm. But I mean, honestly, to be nominated and to be up there with some of the names that are nominated, each year, like that in itself is a blessing. You know what I mean? And
right,
it
right.
feels good to for that part. So I do appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. So the thing is, like the nomination process, what people don't know before you get to the final four is there are a lot of people that end up on the nomination ballot. So to even be in the top four or five, wherever you fall, it should be an amazing feeling for people. I don't want people to be upset when they don't win the day of, but the fact that people see you for your accomplishments. I want people to remember that. And every year, I'd say that at the fires. I want people to remember. So many people they see you, they recognize your work, your amazing work. So that's why I said to be nominated, you should feel proud. So congratulations again on your nomination.
Thank you.
Um, I want to talk a little bit about District of Curves. Okay, let's go ahead and plug that because District of Curves is coming up quick. I know I already got my ticket. So the show has not passed yet from the day that we are doing this recording. So tell everybody when it is and where they can purchase tickets if it's anywhere.
So Digital Curves, July 23rd, is going to be at the University of Maryland Alumni Center, and you can
Mm-hmm.
get tickets at our website, districtofcurves.com. As she said, if there are any left tickets, they are moving. I'm glad that they're moving. This is our first year back since COVID, so it's our first time really outside. Since COVID, I know people have been doing things, but we took a good break. You know what I mean? So it's good to have the community coming back together and in the DC area, you know what I mean, and be able to come out and do things and whatnot. So check out our site, districtofcurves.com.
District Curves. I was so excited to hear District Curves was coming back. When I heard, I was like, "Oh, yes." And I know we joke about it, half jokingly. We are back outside, so to be able to go to back to return to some of the fashion shows that kind of like paused production because of the 19. It's exciting. So I have attended District of Paris in the past. So if you have not gotten tickets for that, make sure you do so. I'm going to see you guys in the building. I want to talk about you have you released a book. Now, I am going to be 100% honest with you. This came as a surprise to me because I was like, where was I? Tell us about this book.
So my book, The Curves Ahead Project, um, that is honestly what got me started in like plus size fashion and photography. So I started the book in like 2013 and didn't have, I did a lot of shoots and I was finally able to produce the book, print the book in like 2015. But it was one of those things where it's like I wanted to highlight plus size women, right? So I was doing photography. I kept seeing plus size women being shown in like, not the best light all the time. Everything was like super sexualized, over sexualized. Nothing wrong with like there's a time and place, but not everything. And so my background, like I plus size women raised me. That's like all I've ever dated. You know what I mean? So I wanted to do this book and highlight plus size women and show that they're not, they come from all facets of life. So my book, the Curves of Hair Project, it shows plus size women in many different areas of life. Being a mom, being a model, being a teacher, being whatever, and also gave women the opportunity to give their bios and talk about themselves. So it's actually a coffee table book. So
Nice.
yeah, and that is what kind of jumped me into the world of plus size fashion and modeling and things of that nature. So the fashion show District of Curves actually comes from the Curves of Hair Project.
Nice.
So,
So how? First of all, is the book still available? I want one.
so I'm actually about to reprint the original. Now that things have gotten a bit easier with book production now, as
Mhm.
time has gone on, the process has become easier. It's become cheaper because it was very expensive to self-produce that book when I did it. So at the beginning, once I get through DOC, so the beginning of 24, I will be putting the original copies back on sale, and I'll be starting volume two.
So I'm gonna share a secret, right? And most people do not know this about me. Um, my very first entrepreneurial journey was I started a publication company.
Oh wow!
Most
Okay.
most people don't know that of me. So I brought that up because you talked about the expense behind the book. I after two books, I was like, nope, this ain't for me. I don't want to do it anymore. I quit.
Yeah,
So yeah, that was my first entrepreneurial journey. So I get it.
yeah.
I get the expense behind it.
It's still expensive, but it's not as expensive as it was.
Right. Right.
And when I did it from I did everything myself. Even designing the pages and Illustrator and all of those things. I mean, you have a magazine, so
Oh
you know
yeah.
what it's like. So
Oh
I
yeah.
did all of those things myself, and then also published. So I mean, we were looking at over $100 To print the book, and I did hard copies. I like hard copies and stuff.
Yeah.
So, we're looking at $100 to print the book. I mean, that's not making any money. That's just printing and
Right.
shipping.
Right. Absolutely. I can't wait till you come back out with it because I want a copy. It sounds amazing, and I don't know how do I call you my friend, and I did not know that. You learn something new about people every day. How long have you been doing photography?
Ooh, so you want me to date myself, right? You want me to reveal my age? No,
No, because you could have come out the womb doing this.
nah. So I started doing photography. I started in college, right? So I started in 2005, maybe,
Hmm.
and I got serious about it probably in like '07. There was a photographer that used to come to the store that I worked in, and he saw my work and he was like, "Okay, I like what you do with no skill, so I'm gonna take you, if you're interested, into the studio and show you like how to shoot." Because he was like, "You have a great eye, but you don't know what you're doing." Like,
Mm,
you know what I
I
mean?
love the
So
honesty.
yeah, he liked the work. He's like, "You got a great eye to do this with no skill." He's like, "But the way I'm holding the camera and all," he's like, "You have no idea what you're doing." So he brought me in, and I got serious around that time. But before that, it was just a way to pay bills in college. It was a way to pay my phone bill. Pay my daughter's little private school tuition.
Hmm.
Coming in the clutch. I'm the club photographer.
Gotcha.
So yeah, but I just been going forward ever since. It's my art. So I never wanted it to be work. It's my art.
Mm,
It's a way to express myself. It's a way to capture people and landscapes and things the way I see it, moments in time. I've shot people who have said that nobody else can see them that way. And
yes.
it's like I can bring it out in people. So I mean, I guess that's a gift, but
Yes, it is.
so it takes me a little bit longer sometimes to produce the final image, but it's because I'm not doing it for money. I mean, yeah, I get paid, but I'm not doing it for money, so to speak. I have to see you,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know, I have to see you, and I can do it that way.
So for somebody who has been on set of tons of photo shoots, I get it. It is a gift. It is a gift because it can't be just point and shoot and whatever we get from this, we get from this.
Right.
It's an art to just put it all together from the beginning to the final product. Speaking of, you mentioned the studio. I know you recently opened up your own photo studio, which is amazing because you actually did it during the 19, during the pandemic,
Yep.
where people were closing down, you were opening up. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So I had always wanted to have a studio. Always wanted to have a studio. And that same photographer that brought me in, he was like, if you ever open a studio, make sure that you can bring in the money to cover it. And so I finally hit that point, and having your own space, opening that studio it was such a huge moment for me to
Hmm.
have my own space where I could create my own stuff. I didn't have to worry about renting from somebody. I didn't have to worry about time limits. Like I got 2-3 hours to produce this, and then you got to go. Sometimes you don't even get into the rhythm of what you're doing.
Right.
For the first couple of hours, depending on what the shoot is. So being able to have that space, my own space, and be surrounded by like my visions, my own stuff, like it's been really, really big. So, I go in there, I can create not just photography, but videos and things of that nature. It's like my whole concept, my creative like space is just different in there because it's mine,
Yeah.
you
Let
know.
me I'm go ahead and put this out in the universe. I want my own studio too. Okay.
You can
Universe,
get
you
it.
hear me?
Yeah.
And of course I'm not a photographer. You guys know I'm not a photographer. But as a publication, it is so useful. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna go ahead and put that out in the universe. I'm gonna have my own photo studio as well. And be up there with Mickey.
And my goal, you can do that. You can do it. My goal is to move on to a bigger space though. Like it's a decent little modest sized space here in the DMV area. Space is very expensive.
Hmm.
You know? So, it's kind of like a balance in that, trying to find something that's affordable and worth the money. I see
Right.
people in other areas like Baltimore, things of that nature, where they have these big old studios, which are beautiful. And it's because it's totally different in those areas. Cost of living is much lower. You know, there's real estate sitting there waiting to be used. Whereas here in the DMV, it's not like that.
Right.
It's a competitive market. So anyway, though, having that space is just, I can't even describe what it's like. You know, it's calming to be able to walk into your own space, have your clients come. I got time limits for clients, as I'm booking people. But when I do my creative shoots, a lot of the stuff that y'all see on Instagram
Yeah.
and stuff like that, like I'm only limited by the amount of time that my clients have. Because sometimes, I mean,
Right.
we spend hours and hours in there, you know.
Oh, I know. Honey, I know about being on set for hours. I
Yeah,
know.
you
I
know.
know, and that's good because that's important. I for somebody who rents studios all the time, I completely get it. The freedom of not being restricted by someone else's time, other than your clients. So speaking of clients, you have you over there hitting the jackpot. I'm just gonna go out and say that, okay? Tell us about some of your clients because I you hold a lot of stuff close to your chest. I know, but you over there just making millions, Mickey. I know you are.
Oh yeah, I mean, I do. Like from the studio, from the photography, even the plus size photography. A lot of my work is word of mouth. And so, I was able to get a couple of big headshot clients in DC, a couple of architecture firms and stuff like that, because some of the ladies that work for them have shot with me, or they know people that have shot with me, or, I shot their wedding or something like that. So recently, I've been able to get a couple of bigger, like headshot clients and portrait clients and stuff like that. The stuff that pays the bills,
Mm,
thousands of dollars at a time to come in and do. I mean, I don't want to say 30 minutes worth of work because it's a lot more than that when you go into everything that has to be done.
right.
But, so the stuff that the clients like that are what pays the bills. And I've been fortunate enough to be able to open up and be able to get some of those things to be able to then fund the stuff that y'all see, you know, on Instagram and stuff like that. Because, a lot of times that's not the work that we post as photographers. We don't post that consistent work. Um, to be able to get clients in this environment when everybody has a camera and,
Yeah.
it's just difficult to pull them in. So to be able to get them, especially from word of mouth, is really good. So I've gotten several, and it's growing. People are happy with the work, and it's growing, and it's like, yeah, keep it coming, keep coming in. And I'm able to, even though I have my studio, I'm able to go do a mobile setup in their offices, which is what people really like and what's been
Hmm.
working. So you don't interrupt their workday too much. Set up in the office, take the shots, and then go on. And corporate clients, they pay.
Oh yeah, 'cause they
You
got
know,
the money. They have the budget.
right? It's no having back and forth. They what's your price?
Hmm.
You do it. You send the invoice, and they send the money right back.
Don't you love that?
And that's what it is. But all of it is just. I never. If you had asked me when I started shooting, like if I saw myself being nominated for the fires, or if I saw myself being on this big stage in front of, the whole like plus size community, people that look like me, that look like you, I would have never thought any of that. I like the camera. I like taking pictures. It I like being able to see something and then print it out and show everybody what I saw and explain. You know what I mean? Explain what I
Yeah.
was looking at, or not explain. Let people interpret what it is. So I mean, this journey from club photography to now, has just been. It's been a ride. It's been good.
You remain consistent, and it's good to be seen for doing the things that you absolutely love. So keep doing that. I absolutely adore you. Before we get into your personal life, because I'm gonna dig into your personal life, um, I want to ask you one question about photography, right? Because this is one of the things that's very alarming to me. How do you compete with you mentioned everybody have a camera. How do you compete with the cell phones and now with AI as a photographer?
So me, I don't compete, right? I go with it, and everything has its place, right? So if I'm in a situation where I can use my iPhone for something, you know, I'll use it, but also knowing too, you got to know your client and you got to know the environment. Like, so, people keep saying a phone or whatever will replace photography. It won't, because the iPhone, as good as it is, or even your top Android phone, as good as it is, it still can't do what an actual camera can do. And simply because of like low light, right? I've shot a wedding with the iPhone before. You know,
Interesting.
I've shot a wedding video and photography with an iPhone before, just because I wanted to see. And during the daytime, it's cool, it's good. You pull the images up; they're not as clear as the other, real
Right.
cameras. But at night, or when it's time for that reception, you can wrap that up. If you don't have enough
Right.
light, you can wrap that up. And I mean, you got to have some real light. So I don't compete with it. I utilize all the tools. So Instagram, the iPhone makes Instagram easy. So I can
Hmm.
produce some really good stuff to put on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok with my iPhone, and I don't have to carry around my big camera. But I'm also still promoting it as my photography brand.
Hmm.
So when people come to book me, they're gonna get me with my camera, and
Yeah.
you do it that way. And I haven't messed with it, mainly because I've never been the person. I'm not gonna change the way you look. So if people
That
come,
part.
can you take 20 pounds off me? No. Um, that I do. I'm putting on some skin and all of that good stuff, but I'm not about to make you look like somebody that you're not, because that's not my brand of photography.
Right.
So
Right.
as AI goes, I'll use AI to clean up backgrounds and things of that nature and make the image look pretty,
Hmm.
but I'm not changing who you are.
Gotcha.
So
Makes sense.
I ain't even mess with it.
I hear you. So if you guys don't know Mickey, Mickey is also a dad. How many children you have, Mickey?
5.
5 children. And if you guys don't know, how old is your sassy daughter now? I follow. This child needs to have her own Instagram. She is an up and coming digital influencer or a YouTuber or something. But this child is hilarious.
She is a hot mess. Yeah, my baby is 8. So that's the one y'all talking about. That's the
Wow.
one everybody talks about, sees me talk about online. She's 8. My oldest is 20. I started early. My oldest is 20. My twins are 11. My middle daughter is 10. And my baby girl is 8. And yeah, she's 8 going on 23.
It sounds like a lot of fun in your household.
It is, man. Like when I have all of them together, it's fun. Like I had all of them at Disney World a couple weeks ago,
Mm,
and that was good. I had my oldest and my middle daughter, I had them for like a full 3 weeks. I have not had all of my children for that long in a long time.
nice.
You know what I'm saying? I normally, it's normally a couple days with all of them, or holidays or whatever. So, it was nice. I mean, we got the arguing and the fussing and the fighting and then the playing
Of
and,
course.
you know, all of it. But I mean, it is really good to have all of my babies together like that. So if y'all follow me on Facebook, then you've seen me talk about my kids, right? I don't shy away from that. I'm a pretty private person, but the kids, I don't shy away from that, because
Yeah.
they're who I am, you know. And I've had so many people tell me that it helps them, like when I share that kind of stuff or whatever, they feel like they're not alone, or somebody just might need a laugh. So
Oh,
my youngest daughter, she be putting me through it.
that youngest one. So it's interesting. So I usually tell people I love to watch our kids grow up, right? So a couple of people who in the industry who I've been associated with for many years, right? I've watched their children grow from this little bitty thing to now teenagers. Some have kids. It is just it's so nice to be able to watch our children grow up. So keep sharing those stories, honey. Keep sharing those stories. I look forward to following baby girl when she gets of age,
Yeah,
up
she
and
got a
running.
little YouTube channel that I manage. Her and her brothers, they got YouTube channels and stuff. And my daughter got all types of videos. And now that she's a little bit older, I might go ahead and let them be out for the public. I hit a little patch where somebody had, like, um, cloned my Instagram page. You know what I mean? And they took
Oh wow.
pictures of my kids and put it on a fake page. And so that kind of made me shut down when it came to like pictures of them, still sharing the stories, but like the pictures of them, it made me shut
Yeah.
down because like I don't share my family like that. You know, like, I don't put like most people don't know who my sister is. You know, like all those things. You know, they all follow me, but most people don't know who they are. You
Yeah.
know, just because I don't like people in my business like that. But when
Yeah.
that happened, I just kind of shut down. I was like, all right, nope, taking the kids off unless it's a story or a reel, something that disappears, you know, like that. But you know, I'm getting a little bit more like, okay, I can kind of put them out
I
there a little
feel
bit
you.
more.
I feel you because that would drive me nuts.
It did. Like I was livid, you know, trying to get in touch with Instagram. Like you need to get this page down. You know, like I don't care if you clone me, whatever, but like leave my kids out of it.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
know,
Yep. Yep. Kids are off limits, y'all.
right?
But y'all already knew that. So here we're going to, before we close out, we're going to play a little game here. I have a deck of cards. I'm going to very randomly pick a card, any card. And there are four questions on the card I'm going to ask you. Just to be clear, you don't win anything, okay? And you're going to answer them, okay?
Got you.
I don't want to come out and say that these are simple questions because I've read through some of them and I was like, ooh, I didn't know that. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, a little fun time. So, first question is, in what city is LaGuardia Airport located?
In what city? I'm not from New York, girl. I don't know. Um, I couldn't tell you because I can take a guess and say Queens, but I don't know.
It is absolutely in Queens. So you are good. You are good. Um, what? Ooh, interesting. What is the world's largest retailer?
So I feel like it's Walmart, but it might not be. Albertsons, maybe.
You
You
were
said
right.
retailer. It was Walmart. Okay, you said retailer, not grocery store. So yeah.
Retailer. Look at you. Okay. Okay. What city is the gangster Bugsy Siegel strongly associated with?
Las Vegas.
Wow. Why do you? I did not know that.
So a little thing about me is I absolutely love gangster everything. So the
Wow.
20s, even though Bugsy Siegel was the late 20s because he was young with Lucky Luciano and then was like starting up like the commission and all of that. And so he moved to Vegas. And so he's like 30s and 40s of that time period. But like I love gangster, like everything. The 20s, I love the mob, like all those movies, like all of that. Like I love all of it.
Well, how about that? This card was for you. Final question. Russia is the largest country in the world in terms of area. What country is the second largest?
India? No.
Canada.
You know what? I don't even think about Canada as a country sometimes. I mean, you know
I
it's a
know. I
but
know.
it's like, yeah,
I feel you on that. Although I knew the answer to that question, I don't either. I don't look at Canada because it's our neighbor. It's like we
yeah,
part of the
like,
U.S.
funny, yeah, and all this smog and everything that we done had for the last few weeks.
Yes, right. We are absolute. We're siblings now, honey. You coughed, we felt it.
Right.
So that was it for our questions. Congratulations again on your nomination. Tell everybody where they can follow you, please, Mickey.
Thank you so much. So you can follow me on Instagram at Mickey Leon 1906. Shout out to the Alphas. I love your I love the fire colors, by the way, the black and gold. But yeah, shout out to
Of
my
course you would.
yeah, Mickey Leon 1906. And for my photography, especially, you know, given the nomination, plus at Plus Model Photography and at Plus Model Photography too. Both of those pages are for my Plus Model Photography.
So, and once again, if you have not gotten your tickets for District of Curves, make sure you go to the website and get your tickets for District of Curves. We plug in everything over here. The Full Figure Industry Awards. If you guys want to see who's going to take home that trophy for Outstanding Photographer, will it be Mickey or will it be somebody else? Make sure you guys get your tickets. www thefires.com, Full Figure Industry Awards. I'm in full uniform so that you guys do not forget. I hope to see you guys there at the Full Figure Industry Awards on November 4th. Again, Mickey, I thank you so much and good luck to you, okay?
Thank you so much, and
I
thank
will
you.
make sure. Go ahead.
I would say thank you for creating a platform.
Oh,
Like, I
man, thank
mean,
you.
it's so important, to have such a platform and be able to create it from scratch, and from the inspiration of being in the industry for as long as you have, like to be able to create something like that and see the vision and to see it through, because it's one thing to have the idea and the vision, it's another thing to actually do it.
Thank you.
You know
I
what I mean?
appreciate
And
that.
so I truly appreciate you for giving us, sorry, for giving us this platform. So thank you so much.
Thank you. And I have to say thank you to everybody for actually doing the work for there to be a platform to exist. I am absolutely honored when I am able to give people their flowers. So thank you and keep doing the work so I can keep giving out some flowers. This is year 5 for us. Technically, 4 years we've produced 4 shows, but this is 5 years ago we started the Full Figure Industry Awards. So I will make sure I put the links in the comments. You guys make sure you hit that subscribe button and subscribe to the Full Figure Industry Awards so you can see all of the fireside chats that we are doing and some behind the scenes of some of our past shows. And if you don't make the next show for whatever reason, you'll be able to see some of the red carpet looks after the show is over and some highlights. Again, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for your support. Mickey, good luck to you, okay?
Thank
I'm
you so
rooting
much.
for you.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.